What's up guys, it's the Devil's Talon here, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at how you can improve your W keying in trios by analyzing 3 of the best players in EU, Crr, Wolfiez, and Aqua, and we're going today to take a look at their insane 50 bomb in the first game of the Trio Cash Cup from a couple of weeks ago. But before I get into this analysis, guys, if you do enjoy my content or find what I'm telling you helpful, please drop a like on this video, hit that subscribe button, and turn on post notifications. But without further ado, let's just jump right in. Alright guys, as you can see on the screen, we have Wolfiez POV, and no surprise, first game of the Cash Cup, where are they landing? They're landing at Salty Towers. Now, the most impressive thing about this video, in my personal opinion, is that they only get into one engagement off spawn, but somehow manage to slay out the rest of the entire lobby and drop an insane 52 kill victory royale. Let's just take a look at the first engagement. We're going to be taking a look at Aqua's POV to start off here. They have landed at main to control. The other team has landed more towards Salty Towers, or not more towards Salty Towers, but more towards the south side of the POV. And as you can notice, not a very strong trio to be landing Salty Towers. None of them have shield. Fortunately, Aqua having minis popping the shield. This opponent tries to hide. Takes the minis and shakes immediately. Let's go over to CRR's perspective. Now, Wolfiez gets a huge fry on Feliz, but what's going to end up happening is Wolfiez actually gets taken out on the trade. But it's okay. CRR is going to nice little crack, moves that up, crack, and gets the opponent in a scuff position. And we have a quick 3 kills off spawn. And again, like I said, the most impressive thing, in my opinion, is that this VOD review only starts off with 3 kills off spawn, and they continue to W key out the rest of the lobby and still find a way to drop an insane 50 kills. Let's take a look here at their next engagement. I'm gonna have to go back a little bit, unfortunately. I don't know where my cursor is. Let's just talk about, this is a very common strategy. I just actually did that. Have to keep on going back for some reason. Alright, so we're gonna be, this is a very common strategy. Take a car from Salty Towers and P. Now CR is kind of in a box fight. This is very scuffed. Wolfiez drives through the box right here. Let's take a look. Wolfiez going up on this opponent, spraying through, creating pressure with an angle, and you're going to see a fry on his CRR who gets double dinked. Basically, this is a little bit psycho from Wolfiez right here. Only hitting for 32. We don't really get to see what happens due to replay bug. But let's just take a look at from Cooler Aqua's POV, because I feel like he's going to be the catalyst for how this trio ends up getting wiped. So he's going to see CRR get tried. Get some nice chip damage to get them off of CRR. Aqua's then going to drop in. Mongo Classic. Good right hand team. And then absolutely lasers those 2 opponents. And then excuse me. And we don't see who ends up getting the kill. I believe Wolfiez ends up picking that kill finally. But again, Wolfiez making kind of a psycho play as a solo, but a really good job from Aqua right there to fry early off, get a nice Mongo Classic, good angle, duck to the left, and get an absolute fry. And CR applying pressure on that wall, creating kind of a good little pinch. Let's just jump to the next engagement here. You're gonna have to probably back up a couple times, so give me a second. I think this VOD is so packed, we can just kind of go into it however we want. Let's take a look at CRR's perspective. They're chasing this trio that is in a vehicle. And right now, not a huge start, right? They've only wiped 2 full teams. And now, so notice these 2 teams are fighting. You're going to see what ends up happening. CRR is going to be the reason why this fight is won. Nice 62 damage right here. Notice Wolfiez gets cracked. Good recognition, good crack. ARs that opponent. Cracks right here. 2 job, gets his finish. And he is going to actually 1v3. And that is what is called a clutch factor. He absolutely dominated that trio as a solo. We're going to take a look also at Aqua's Wolfiez POV as well, because I believe they helped clean up the other team that was originally fighting there. He did end up taking quite a bit of damage to start off. But let's look at what they do in this particular engagement. So again, like I said, we're rolling up in the vehicle. He is going to take a little bit of damage. Nice, a big crack from Aqua there, gets 80 off right there. And they're getting basically sprayed from the entire lobby. An opponent Sykes who's in Wolfiez again, picking up another 50 kills. Them playing together right there helps a ton. But you're going to watch CRR absolutely dominate this lobby here. Notice his teammates coming in immediately to push, and CRR has already wiped this entire trio. Really great stuff. Good 2 kills from them playing together, and just an absolute clutch from CRR, really. That's just nothing but clutch factor. Not really technical, nothing about it. It's just hitting your shots. Just technically the better player. So, let's go into the next part of this engagement. I believe the first person that gets a knock is going to be CRR here. Now, you're going to see a ton of wide splits in this VOD review, which you kind of have to do. Obviously. Nice. We're going to see that CRR, so it looks like he's walking. It's a glitch. He is actually sand rotation. Now, snipers are incredibly strong this season and annoying. He's going to headshot this opponent that's standing still. And nice. Now you're going to see what ends up happening. That sometimes, I like CRR's caution on this particular opponent, but they play this VOD review incredibly split the entire time. Notice how this opponent is bouncing away, constantly trying to run away, even though he's full HP. CR gets some good chip damage, 57, and he gets in this long build fight. Wolfiez and CR are nowhere near him. He's taking this battle as a solo. Uses the hot rocks. And we get kind of a replay bug. Kind of scuffs his edits a couple times. This opponent is just getting out mainly because of that. Gets it right there. Puts a little 34 crack. Scuffs his edit again. Notice playing so much as a solo in trios. This is kind of what's fortunate is that this opponent good counter slide to end that fight. Let's take a look over at Aqua's POV, because Aqua's going to end up actually getting a ton more frags. I believe there's actually even a fight earlier where he gets a frag. We're going to have to take a look at that. He does. So I apologize for skipping ahead just a tad bit. He is sand rotating again. I don't know why it's showing it. He's walking. That's funny. It just doesn't show. They're sand rotating on this particular opponent. Oh, gets a snipe off from Wolfiez. He just kind of Metro Classic in. AR him to death, which is exactly what happened. That's great at snipe. And then the opponent gets fried. Gets absolutely fried by the Historian, and then picks up another quick 2 kills. And then we're going to go talk about the next engagement, which we already kind of talked. We saw CRR isolate after getting that snipe. But this is kind of what you have to do if you want to drop this insanely high kill, 52 kill win. Boom. He gets the 24 track, and then you're going to see that CR is the one that eventually snipes him. Let's take a look at how Aqua kind of gets onto this. Fries for a good 70 ticks of damage. Gets the ramp in front of him, sprays through. Gets the finish. And these opponents are still bouncing away. He does take the bouncer though. Psycho's in. Does not get it right there. This opponent then bounces again. He absolutely fries. Decides to recycle the bouncer. Spraying through. Gets him with a scar. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And we get a nice little shake. Beautiful. I believe that Aqua is going to be the one that ends up with the most kills. They all end up with a high amount of kills, but I believe Aqua gets the most in that particular regard. You see the pressure coming in now. previously with CR, we know he ends up finishing this elimination. Let's go into the next section of W keying. Some good pre-fight damage. Gets a 36 and then he gets up getting sniped. Does CRR get anything else? Take a look. I don't want to miss anything. Obviously in this VOD review it's very, very crucial. Nope, we don't miss anything. I do believe he gets another knock here. Let's take a look. We'll jump into from his perspective. Nice. Aqua's pushing up on this other team, and you're going to see CRR kind of build up on his own, using the crystals to quickly WP. This is kind of a scuff situation, does a good job of getting out in this particular part. Mitro classics in, cracks 100, and gets the finish, even though that he is extremely weak. Kind of took that 50-50 because of his confidence health advantage. Switch over to Cooler Aqua's POV. He gets sniped here. So he's going to be chilling. Look at his shields. He's playing 3-hit meta. Doesn't even bother taking the big. Take a flash, drop him down. And then Aqua gets the kill. Good pinch right there, top and bottom for CR. And then they spray through on the right-hand peak, and that's a really, really quick start. Let's just kind of go in the next portion. Most of these fights are kind of solo and uncoordinated, and it's just what you would expect. Just from a very confident trio, already at 18 kills, and they're nowhere near as done. Opponent kind of bouncing into nowhere. Spraying through with a charge, that's so beautiful. Charge is such a power play if you can do it correctly. Now we're going to take a look. We're at Wolfiez, getting a try on that particular opponent, getting all of his shield off. I like the decision to take the crystal and continue the pressure. I believe CRR is also going to pick up an angle, and he ends up getting efficient. Be finished. Let's take a look and see how CRR picks up this elimination. Take a little bit look. I don't know if he was AFK. He ends up getting shook as well. Notice again, where is his teammates? Nowhere to be found. He's incredibly split. This is something I definitely wouldn't recommend in trios and get you punished a lot, but apparently gets a nice quick scope headshot that is completely, the map is completely corked. I'm so bad. I'm so sorry we even went back to this. But let's take a look at this next section, and from CRR's perspective, it looks like to be a very prolific time for him. You see Aqua on the go. He's going to use Fryer. He gets in the AR and just uses his aim assist to the most. And you can see all of these people rotating in late. There's a nice little 49 tag. CR is going to get the finish on this opponent. Full building, he ends up shaking as a solo, which again I don't remain. Notice again Wolfiez and his rest of his trio are completely away from him, just using the hot rocks to key. Wolfiez is marking people. That is keying. Aqua's a tad bit behind him. Somehow that the snipe does not hit. Looks like Wolfiez is going to end up starting this particular engagement. He sees his opponent kind of hiding in here. Doesn't get it, guys. Low ping. Guys in a tough good right hand peek, doesn't take any damage. He's gonna shake. It's a solo, I believe, or Aqua's actually right by him right there in this particular engagement. CRR is completely on the other side, nowhere near keying a solo once again. You're gonna see this as, I mean, to be completely honest, for you to kill 52 people, this guy gets absolutely fried. For you to kill 52 people, you're gonna have to play solo and take some solo engagements. I could have ended that fight there. Unfortunately, doesn't get it. You're gonna see just kind of play around this. We're gonna end up drawing this fight out a little bit longer. We've seen this a little bit. He's had 2 solo extended fights. He isn't really overextending. He's playing particularly safe, not cycling in. Which is a little bit surprising knowing that this opponent is incredibly weak. Double swings right there, takes a little bit of chip damage. And then takes another little bit of damage, and finally does get him off. But notice how far he is from his teammate. Wolfiez and Aqua are in a complete another different engagement on the other side of the map. We're going to take a look at Aqua's POV. Aqua ended up picking up another frag. Wolfie's getting that frag as well. Let's just take a look at their particular engagement because one, we already kind of saw this one. Let's look at this one. We're gonna watch it from POV. Gets cracked for a little bit of damage. Needs to create space. Wasting a lot of mats, right, to create a ton of space to make sure he gets his wheels off. Wolfie ends up getting a nice little frag right here. Guys, opponent's building up. Cracks that opponent as well. Kind of taking a trade. Gets the finish for both, and then the last one is there. Aqua slows down. Look at all those heals that again he has. Bigs, minis, they kind of heal back up. They decide to just flash together to get in there faster. Cycle phase, front slides, and they just end it pretty quickly. Now we're up to over 25 kills, nearly 30. See this opponent going out, and CRR, I believe, is there in a car now. Yes, he is. He's creating pressure. This is beautiful. I think this is the best example of coordinated fight in this VOD review. Beautiful from Aqua right there. Opponent does get out. I think we could take a look at this opponent burning a lot of mats trying to get away. And he gets a fry. You see Aqua's aim being absolutely precise this entire VOD review. There is a lot to do, and I believe Wolfiez ends up picking that. But let's just re-watch that engagement. Let's go to CRR. We're gonna see which solo he gets a lot of. So let's look at this particular finish he gets. I believe he's gonna get a. Now this is the pinch I'm talking about. I'm gonna talk about. This is what kind of swung up. One, there's so many reasons why to keep his team. You take a look at where they're boxed up, right? So this screams horrible. Team, why? They're boxed up on edge. 1, 2, they're boxed up in a horrible layer. They have no LOS on the rest of the lobby. They have no sight lines on anybody because they're not even built up off a layer. They're basically in a hole with trees, and they're boxed up on edge. This screams this team is bad. So what is now take a look right here. You're gonna see Wolfiez on the wall, Aqua spraying back on this particular opponent, and CR creating pressure this way. Beautiful. Look at this pinch right here with the ARs. Flawless. Now a quick knock. And then as you saw, Wolfiez on the wall before, and then Aqua goes in there as well. And then it's just basically who can fry there the fastest. Finally getting his finish right there. 18, 31 frags thus far. We can go to his POV as he gets this last particular finish on this opponent that Aqua fried. The opponent trying to break in is not going to happen. So now 13 apiece for Aqua and CRR. Wolfie's lagging a bit behind. Now let's take a look. The next engagement. CRR is kind of already up ahead. They bounce her. And I believe this is going to be another example. Oh my goodness, very fortunate he didn't get cracked right there. Beautiful, good cycling right there. Almost fluid, nice tone climb, cracks, boom, G's. Let's take a look. I believe CRR is nowhere near this. And that's what I'm talking about. CRR is the one that plays alone, which I'm extremely surprised. Oh, he is near here. He just doesn't have the impact yet. You saw basically what they ended up doing. One would piece control home slide, the other would spray through with a star, getting a 2-star, and then they cycle, and CR ends up dusty. He ends up marking, and they end up pushing a little bit more. It's too split anymore. Let's take a look at Wolfie since he's leading the charge. Good RPG pressure, home slides. Opponent actually does a good job of returning. Nice. It's a huge RPG crash. Look at how together they're playing. There's no... And this is all just on box that Wolfie's getting it. CRR gets absolutely fried. I believe what ends up happening here, I believe CRR does go down. So he's healing. They get a bunch of peppers. They continue the WQ fest. I think Aqua's now leading the charge. Aqua's already in the box fight. Right hand peek on the side, and then Wolfie's right there. Bad reload management gets Aqua to so little HP. Take a look just a tad bit at what Wolfiez does here. It's a refresh on everything. He's splashing Aqua. COR is getting on this opponent. Another full trio. He's trying to get in, does not get there, gets gas can. Gets all beautiful, and then RPG. Beautiful, and everyone just jumps on top of the head, using explosives, using power loot, gas cans in RPG. And now we're getting towards the end. See, this opponent, I believe he gets sniped. He does. Boxed up. We're going to switch over to Aqua's POV. He's going to get in more towards these kids. Good awareness, blocking off his side. Hits the opponent from 134, and then he's just in there. 19, a near 20 bomb for Aqua already. Hits this opponent for a little bit, flies him off. Puts this Proton, oh my god. Main aim. Finish that fight insanely fast. Wolfie is RPGing this team that's pressure, which is really, really good. It gives time for Aqua to get up there. CRR. He's trying to box and he's struggling to get up there. Take a look at Wolfie's fight. Good decision to get back out of there. He didn't own anything and the opponent had multiple people on them. He goes back to Aqua. Let's see what happens to CRR. I believe he does get picked up. He says, I've watched the actual, he said these kids were actually not bad. This team gives them one of the more troublesome engagements for sure. Aqua gets in, and then they create Amos distraction. Basically, CRR gets caught. Gets smacked to 36 HP. We are going to see Aqua get a couple frags. Ends up getting those frags. Here, let's just rewind. CR doesn't get taken out as of yet. I thought he would. Wolfie's really picking up more in late game. Good pinch. This is a good pinch. Yeah, the one that CR cracked. You didn't really see what happened. Beautiful. CRR does get taken out. I don't know what ended up happening, but let's just take it back and look at what got CRR taken out. Oh, someone does stealing his wall. Then we can watch the rest from Aqua and Wolfie's POV because they end up killing the lobby now. 14 for Wolfie's, 15 for CRR, 21 from Aqua. They bounce ahead. Reload all of their weapons. This is the last individuals. Aqua's building up to him. Masters gets a 24 little bit of crack. Good hip fire spray to get 136 crack. Wolfie's trying from one speaker away. Good attempt right there. And then Wolfie's doing a good job of trying. Good cone. Shoot him out. And I believe he's going to get one charged. And Wolfie's already took care of the other person. An absolute insane 50 bomb from this trio. And you saw it just created with abuse of power loot and the pace and playing very tightly together, getting into people's boxes, almost creating instant 2v1s. It was really an impressive thing to watch.